Jessica Davis.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I remember those stories that my mother would say. She told me fairy tales before I went to bed. She spoke of happy endings and tucked me in real tight. She left the nightlight on and kissed my face goodnight. My head was filled with so many memories of paradise. She said, I'll be so happy and that he'll be so nice. He ride up on his horse and carry me away one night. I'll be so happy with him. We'll carry away all night. But she never said that we would curse, cry, scream, and fight. She never said that one day he might say goodbye. She spoke of fairy tales. No stories like this. She said he'll come to save me and slay the dragons and fight the prince. But you never came to save me. You let me stand alone. You left me out in the wilderness, out alone in the cold. No magic potion could save me. No horse with wings to fly. I found the poison apple, my destiny to die. No royal kiss could save me. No spell could save me now. My fantasy is over. My life must begin. My story ends as stories do. Reality steps towards you, no longer living life in paradise. Those were lyrics by Anita Baker with her song, Fairy Tales. And one of the reasons why I like the song is that my mom would play it over and over and over again while I was a child. But another reason why I would like it is because in our society, especially when I was a kid, a lot of the Disney movies that I would watch, like Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, would teach these messages that things are supposed to go in a certain order. You have love at first sight, you meet that person, you get married, and then your happy ending will start, and there's nothing in between. But what the fairy tale fails to mention is that life is not nearly as perfect like that. One of the things that I found funny is that I actually saw Frozen, and one of the characters was arguing with somebody else when they said that they fell in love with somebody at first sight. They're like, how can you fall in love with somebody you don't even know? You don't know what their last name is. You don't know what their occupation is. What are you going to actually do together? Another show that I like to watch is called Once Upon a Time. And a lot of the characters are arguing about the show. It's about the balance between good and evil, about what makes characters good and evil, and why do only certain people get their happy endings and others don't. But the thing about that that's realistic is that some people's lives go a certain way and other people's lives differ. Everything is always in shades of gray. And one of the things about fairy tales, especially in the past, is that they used to actually be stories to educate younger people about the harshness in society, and somehow it kind of drifted to like a fantasy type thing. But I hope that, especially with songs like Anita Baker's songs as fairy tales, that we gradually learn about that fairy tales are not, especially like the ones from Cinderella and Aladdin, are not something that we should take seriously. That we should try to, even though we face adversities, there's a reason for them, that they help us to learn and grow as individuals. So thank you so much for listening to me.